Dinosaurs were reptiles, but contrary to what you might think, they weren't scaly like modern reptiles. Instead, most dinosaurs had skin like a bird's, covered in feathers. But that doesn't mean that they all looked like big, flightless birds. Depending on the species, these feathered dinosaurs could have looked very different from one another, and even more different from modern birds. And now we're learning that dinosaurs may have been even more colorful than we ever imagined. When it comes to learning about dinosaurs, paleontologists generally focus on the skeleton. Soft tissue-like skin doesn't preserve in the fossil record, so we usually only get to see the bones. That means that what little we know about dinosaur skin comes almost entirely from a few fossilized examples and educated guesses based on comparisons with living relatives. In 2010, for instance, an exceptionally well-preserved fossil of a juvenile ankylosaurus was found in Canada. The fossil had scales, feathers, and even the impression of colorful, intricate patterns, giving us a rare glimpse into what many dinosaurs may have looked like. But not all dinosaurs were covered in these kinds of scales. Some were covered in feathers. For a long time, scientists debated whether these feathers were simple, downy structures or something more complex. Scientists studying the 2010 Ankylosaurus fossil argued that the small, delicate feathers were likely simple. But other scientists pointed out that some of the feathers appeared to be asymmetrical, meaning they had a definite shape to them, which would indicate that they were more complex. It turns out both of these scientists were right. Some feathers were simple, and some were more complex. Different parts of the dinosaur's body had different kinds of feathers, just like modern birds. But while we can learn a lot from the preserved impressions of feathers in fossils, it's tough to tell what color they were. All that scientists can usually hope to find are the remnants of melanin, the pigment that gives skin, hair, and feathers their color. And melanin only preserves in certain conditions. So while we have some clues about the colors of some dinosaurs, like this beautiful green and red Ankylosaurus, we really don't know what most dinosaurs looked like. That is, until recently. A study published in 2023 by the title of Feathered Dinosaur looked at preserved color patterns on several dinosaur fossils, including the previously mentioned Ankylosaurus, as well as fossils of Ankylosaurus's relatives, the Boreopelta mark-micheli, and the relative of Ankylosaurus and Archaeopteryx called the Linguanosaurus. Now, the researchers weren't looking at the feathers themselves. Instead, they focused on the skin around the base of the feathers. The team was able to identify preserved melanosomes, the cellular structures that produce and store melanin. Using a technique called Raman spectroscopy, the team was able to analyze the chemical signatures of those melanosomes and reconstruct the colors that they likely produced. They found that the dinosaurs likely had complex, beautiful coloration, including reddish-brown feathers with intricate speckles and stripes, as well as bright white patches. Some dinosaurs had solid black or brown feathers. Others were multicolored, with reds, yellows, and greens. In other words, many dinosaurs likely looked like a parrot or a peacock. Now the researchers couldn't determine the exact shade of each color, such as whether the red feathers were more of a crimson or a scarlet. But they did conclude that these dinosaurs likely had the ability to produce a wide range of colors. And that means that dinosaurs may have been even more diverse in their appearance than we thought. These flashy colors probably didn't come from the same source as a peacock or a parrot is. Animals get their colors from the foods they eat. And while dinosaurs were probably eating plants, they were also likely eating animals. Meat has more protein than plants, and protein provides the building blocks for melanin. So dinosaurs that ate lots of meat could have been more colorful than those that only ate plants. Plus, according to the lead author of the study, animals that eat meat tend to have brighter coloration than animals that are only eating plants. So carnivorous dinosaurs could have used their flashy colors to attract mates, while their prey may have been more drab to avoid being noticed by predators. Ultimately, this study shows that dinosaurs were much more diverse in their appearance than we had any idea. And that means that the next time you see a feathered dinosaur in a museum or in a movie, remember it probably looked nothing like that. Thanks for watching this episode, which was brought to you by our incredible community of patrons. Y'all make it possible for us to bring mind-blowing science to the whole internet, and we appreciate the heck out of you for it. If you would like to be involved helping us make this show, you can check out our support page.